Hello, everyone. Welcome to Team Coaching for Organization Excellence here at UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education. I am Katie Orton. I am the enrollment coach for this program. I also have Lori Cozart on the line who will share with us a little bit about her background. She's our instructor for this course. Team coaching is set to run September 6th through November 22nd of 2024. And our final application deadline won't be till September, but I'll go through why it makes sense to apply earlier than that. So let's get started. We'll take a look at our agenda. For today, we're going to go over the program's philosophy as well as the schedule. We'll talk about how this program connects to the International Coaching Federation, or the ICF. We'll look at the logistics of the program as well as discounts, and we'll leave some time at the end for Q&A. So I'll pass it off to Lori, and she can tell us about herself and about the program in general from an instructor standpoint.
Sure. Thank you so much, Katie. Welcome, everyone. I'm Lori Cozart. I'll be the instructor for this program. I've actually been coaching since 1999, so that really ages me. I'm a master certified coach through the International Coaching Federation, as well as a certified team coach. And one of the things that I've always been fascinated by was I read Barry Oshery's classic book called Seeing Systems, and it really spiked my curiosity to learn more how to coach change between people, between systems, and what that really looks like from an individual and team function. And so as we have seen team coaching really come into its fruition over the past several years, especially, what I've noticed in my work with teams is that during the team coaching process, teams really start to take responsibility, both individually and collectively. And jointly, they develop and adapt to ever increasing the speed of change. We're in constant state of flux, in a constant state of change, and in a constant state of complexity in the world that we're working with businesses and inside teams. And so this part of the industry, team coaching, has really grown exponentially as more and more companies realize the need to move from individualistic leaders to a more collective leadership within teams. And they have leaned into really creating greater collaboration and engagement beyond the team. So as we look at what's coming up in team coaching, that's a little bit of background about me. And so let's take a look at maybe how that plays out in team coaching in general. So what you're going to notice is that it really combines all of the aspects of coaching. So when we work with teams, we also have the individual and executive piece, but the team really brings all of the facilitation skills that a person can use. So it's a combination of coaching, of team building, of other sorts of interactions and interventions when you work with teams. And so it does really require some knowledge around how to facilitate those group dynamics. And here's a little bit about what you can expect from the classes. So what we really focus on is how do we coach the team as a single identity? And that is really paramount to team coaching. We do require that all team members are there at the same time. And if there's a team member missing, there is a commitment from another team member to share what has been talked about. And we actually also put a chair in there for the other team member as if they were still there. Part of that then, of course, in the second session is learning about how do we create psychological safety in teams? What do team dynamics really look like, and how do we maneuver and create interventions for conflict or other types of things that are happening inside teams? And how do we really create that safety to where they can collaborate, speak freely, and that leads us to capitalize on diversity. And when we capitalize on diversity, what we're really talking about is not just the diversity of race, equity, and inclusion, but we're also talking about diversity of thought. How do we lean into being able to understand another person's worldview and another person's perspective? And that leads us into rational problem solving. What I found over the years in coaching with teams is one of the biggest causes of conflict is how do we actually solve problems? How do we make decisions? And so we're going to talk about a simple process that teams can use to actually make solving easier and lean into those critical decision making skills easier as well. Once we've done that, that helps them manage any of the resistance. And when it comes to managing resistance, we're not going to be just talking about managing resistance in the team or in the team individuals, but we're going to be talking about how do you manage resistance in yourself? Because there will be coming up in those team dynamics, you'll also notice some of the trigger points for you as a coach, and we're going to help you manage some of that as you then start to work with teams one-on-one. And that leads us to coach supervision, because part of this program is the opportunity to work with a team in real time as you're learning some of the skills of team coaching. So we'll pair you up with a team. You'll have the opportunity to apply what you've learned. And then part of that is coming back, talking about what the experience was like through coaching supervision, and giving you the opportunity to share challenges and, of course, successes as well.
Thanks, Lori.
Yeah, you
So I
bet.
think that's a great idea of what to expect from you, our instructor, as well as what we can expect from the class and what it means to be a team coach. I want to take a look at the schedule that we have finalized for our cohort this fall. You'll notice that the classes are on Friday mornings from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is Pacific Standard Time. These classes take place over Zoom. There'll be 6 sessions total, and you can see that each week we'll go through the topics that Lori discussed. I'll be sending out a copy of this schedule. You can also find it online. So if you're interested in team coaching, you might already be a coach, or you might just be somebody who's interested in skilling up that particular proficiency if you're maybe working in an environment where you're leading teams. But if you are interested in getting the advanced accreditation with the ICF in team coaching, there are some prerequisites that you need to meet before you sit for the exam. Our program helps you meet all of these requirements, but I'll list them out for you so that you can compare what's required versus what we're offering and see how they connect. You are required to have 60 documented hours from an accredited educational institute, which is us. You get 60 documented hours of coach-specific training. You also need 2 sessions of observed team coaching sessions, and you'll need written feedback. You'll also need a minimum of 5 hours of coaching supervision, and then you'll need to sit for the exam, which is something that we'll prepare you for. So that's what the ICF asks. And in terms of outcomes from our course, you can see that we meet these prerequisites. You'll be getting education from an accredited team coaching institute, which would be us. We're accredited to offer this education. You'll get at least 60 hours of team coaching education. We will offer you observed team coaching sessions, and we'll give you feedback on those. You'll get 5 hours of coaching supervision, and then you'll also be prepared to take the exam. When it comes to the course outcomes, I have them on this slide here. We'll go through them. Lori talked a little bit about what each class looks like, but here are some of the outcomes. After this course is complete, you'll be able to describe how team coaching drives powerful change at all of these different levels, individually, as a team, and as an organization. You'll also be able to apply everything that you learn, the systemic model of team coaching. Then you'll be able to demonstrate how that model creates and drives positive team outcomes. You'll be able to apply the different practices that are aligned with ICF team coaching competency models. And then practically speaking, you'll also be able to explain from a business point of view why you as a team coach are a justified expense and how you can add organizational value, and you'll be able to pitch that service model to potential clients, internally or externally. And yeah, so all great outcomes, well connected to the ICF, an excellent course that's going to be available this fall. And like I mentioned, the modality of the course is going to be over Zoom, so it'll be entirely online. We will meet on Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Be lecture discussions and coaching practice. You will need to apply for this program. The application is going to be in lieu of an interview. You'll have an opportunity to share your passion, and then we'll have 4 short answer questions for you to complete. This class is not offered for academic credit, but you will get 6.5 continuing education units. You'll get a certificate of completion from UC Davis, as well as a digital badge, which is something that you can share on social media like LinkedIn. And that badge is something that people can click on. They'll be taken to a link that describes the course. So it's a really cool feature that you're able to share electronically and socially. When it comes to pricing, the cost of this class is $5,500, and that is due at the time of enrollment. We do not have payment plans set up through UC Davis, but there are some private student loans that we coordinate with if you want to make payments to the loan provider. In a technical sense, the last day to apply is September 2nd. But based on the discounts that are available, you're going to want to apply and enroll much sooner than that so you can take advantage of the different discounts that we're able to offer. These applications are accepted on a rolling basis. The applications are open now. We're accepting applications, reviewing them. Once they come in, they will go to our team for review. And if the program's a good fit for you, we will send over a link for you to enroll. This is all first come, first serve. So if the program fills up before September 2nd, then it will be full. We can add you to the wait list. So you're going, even though the application deadline is extended till September 2nd, you're really going to want to apply earlier than that. And their tuition will be due no later than September 3rd. Okay, so I want to go over the questions that will be asked so you can get an idea of what we're looking for in a candidate. So the first question is, please tell us about your educational and professional background as it relates to your experience with individual coaching, group facilitation, team leadership, and please feel free to include any volunteer or community benefit activities as it's appropriate. The second question is just getting an idea of how you plan to anticipate using your team coaching skills. We'll also want you to share your experience collaborating in group facilitation or partnering on projects. What are the obstacles that you faced and how did you manage them? And lastly, we'll just want to be on the same page in terms of that this program requires a commitment to attend all class sessions and complete some activities outside of class, typically no more than 1 to 2 hours per week. We want to know what challenges you'll need to address in order to fully engage in the program. So the next step, like I've talked about, would be to apply online. As part of my email, I will be sending out a summary of all of this, as well as a link to apply online. But just so you know what it looks like, you'll use this Enroll Now button, which will take you to the application page. So that's all we have on our end in terms of slides, but I'd like to open it up to Q&A. We have Lori here, who is a phenomenal resource if you have any questions about the program, logistics, content, ICF, we're happy to answer. Just give it a minute while people are able to type. Lori, one thing I maybe didn't mention that you could provide some insight on is like who would be a good candidate for this program? Who's someone who could benefit from this class?
Sure. I would say anybody that's in organizational development, HR positions, perhaps, anyone who's really interested in making a difference inside organizations, and has great facilitation skills, has already done some of that work. And of course, professional coaches would be a great fit.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm not seeing any questions come in, but is there anything else you wanted to add that maybe I didn't get a chance to cover?
I just want to reiterate how exponentially team coaching has grown. It's really only in and about in the United States and working with the ICF, it's only in about its third or fourth year. And it has just grown so exponentially. And it's a great opportunity, especially for those types of folks that I just mentioned, to really get in sort of on the ground floor of what's happening, because I have just seen this ever increasingly year after year after year. And so the opportunities are endless, really. And I think one of the things that I love most about it is that we really do, as team coaches, have the opportunity to create different types of organizations. And so if you're into that, because I think that what I always say is I think that organizations have a ripple effect. Things that happen inside teams and organizations don't just stay there. They ripple out into people's personal lives and into their families and ultimately into our communities. So if we can have an impact on creating positive change, I think that that is what really drew me to team coaching. And I'm hoping that that's what draws others.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and everyone who joined us. I'll be sending a follow-up email. So if you do have any questions that come up, please feel free to respond and I'll make sure we get an answer for you. But thank you so much for everyone's time, and we'll conclude our meeting for today.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.